What's going on, guys? It's your boy Austin Shope here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about matchups that need to be made after UFC 310. Now, for the ones who didn't see 310, it was a really good card. The prelims were good, the early prelims were good, and the main card was good. Co-main was probably the fight that you guys didn't expect to see those type of results. It was just super competitive, and I don't know, the whole main card was pretty good. But I was thinking of some good matchups to make for the winners and even some of the losers. So let's get into this. Now, for the first matchup I got on the list, I was thinking maybe Joshua Van versus Tim Elliott. Now, most of you guys probably agree with me on this. Joshua Van knows how to fight. Okay, this dude has hands like for days. He can go in there. I believe he can go in there and strike with anybody in the flyweight division. This guy is super skilled when it comes to the boxing, and we've seen improvements in his grappling. So this guy's just evolving. He's only 22 or 23 years old, so he's still developing, and he showed some pretty promising stuff in his last fight against Cody Durden. Now, I think the reason why this would be a good matchup for Joshua Van is, one, it's the perfect matchup for the perfect fight for him to get into the top 10. He's fighting a really good veteran in Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott's he's been there through the fire. He's had some really good fights, and he's had some really good wins. So I feel like if Joshua Van were to win this fight against Tim Elliott, it would just make him, even more closer to a title shot. I feel like if he won this fight against him, he probably really, if we're being honest here, he probably would only have to fight one more fight after this to get a title shot. So, I don't know. I think this fight would be pretty entertaining, and I think it would be a good test for Joshua Van. So, the next matchup I have is Nikita Krylov versus Dominic Reyes. So, Dominic Reyes is 2-0 this year, okay? He beat Dustin Jacoby, and he just beat Anthony Smith. So, with a big win against a good veteran against like Anthony Smith, why not give him someone like Nikita Krylov for him to dip his toes back into the top 10? Now, the reason why I came up with this matchup, for one reason only, honestly, I just don't think Nikita would be a big threat to Dominic Reyes when it comes to like knocking him out. I could be wrong, but from the looks of it, Dominic Reyes is his training has gotten a little bit better. I don't know. I feel like after those two wins, his confidence has really built up a lot. He's probably has a little bit more positive mindset now, and I just think this fight would be really competitive. And I honestly believe Dominic Reyes would come out with the win. And he's only 34 years old. And with him being in the light heavyweight division, he probably still has a few more years in him. So I can see him, if he, keeps winning, I could potentially see him fighting for maybe another title one day. But who knows? I just think this would be a good fight. The next fight I came up with would be Movsar Evliev versus the winner of Ilya and Volk 2. Now, Ilya and Volk 2 hasn't been announced yet. I'm just basing it off by what Ilya said last time, where he said Volk was going to get the automatic rematch, or he was going to get the rematch because he deserved it or whatever. And for Movsar, it's just like, who else is he going to fight? Is he going to fight Diego Lopez again? I know he called him out, but Diego declined it. And I don't think Diego Lopez is gonna fight for the title next. I mean, he'll probably get the title shot before Movsar. I just don't think Movsar and Diego Lopez is gonna be booked again. I'm trying to be realistic with this one. So I'm sure you guys don't want to see it. I don't really want to see it, but it's the only fight that really makes sense. So I feel like if they get this fight out of the way, then they can start talking about Diego Lopez versus, Ilya or Volk or whatever. But I could just be completely wrong on this. It's just common sense to me right now. That's just what it seems like. But Yeah, no, let me know what you guys think about that matchup. Me personally, I just think it'll be pretty boring. Movsar didn't really show anything against Sterling. He just showed grappling. That was it. And, I don't know. It is what it is. The next matchup I got is Bryce Mitchell versus Aljamain Sterling. Both these guys fought on 310. Bryce Mitchell won. Sterling lost. You know, at one point, Bryce Mitchell was in the top 10. I'm pretty sure. I think he was number 9. So, why not put him up against Aljamain Sterling, who's number 9? Since he lost against Movsar, and both these guys are jiu-jitsu guys, and both of them have, like, a decent stand-up, I just think this would be an entertaining fight, and I don't know. In a world, I can see both these guys winning. It's just, I feel like it would be one of those fights where it came down like who wants it more, you know? I think it would be a good grappling match, especially whenever Mitchell showed really good jiu-jitsu against a Gracie, which is always pretty impressive. So it's just one of those fights to me where it's like I could see it being like one of the entertaining fights on the main card. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a Sterling and Cejudo matchup, but not really, I guess. I don't know. I just think it'd be a good grappling fight. And for the guys who like to watch the grappling exchanges when they're good like I do, I think it would be one of those fights. So, I don't know. I just feel like it'd be a good matchup. The next matchup I got is Cyril Gane versus the winner of Tom Aspinall and John Jones. Now, that's if John Jones decides to stay in the UFC and fight Tom Aspinall or if he retires. So, I just don't see who Cyril could actually fight. Even though I thought the decision was bullshit against Volkov, who else is he going to fight? He's number 2 in the heavyweight division. They're not going to have Tom Aspinall defend his interim title for a second time. At least in my eyes, I don't see that happening. I see Tom Aspinall and John Jones fighting. The winner of that, I think, should fight Cyril Gane. It just makes sense. There's no one else that he can fight. I don't think he's going to fight below him again. I don't know. He's not going to fight Pavlovich. Pavlovich is on a 2-fight losing streak. It's the fight that makes sense, and it's statistically it just makes sense in every aspect. It's just like one of those common sense fights again. It wouldn't make sense if he fought anybody else. So, the next fight I got on the list. Now, this fight to me is just entertaining. I just came up with this out of nowhere. It might not make any sense, but to me, I think it's a banger. It's Ian Gary versus Michael Morales. Now, if you guys don't know who Michael Morales is, look at his last fight against Neil Magny. Dude completely killed Magny, dude. It's crazy. It's just like yeah, Ian Gary beat Neil Magny by TKO, just by leg kicks. But this dude completely, like, flatlined him, dude. He killed him. So it's just like, he's also undefeated. I think he's like 16-0, I'm pretty sure. So why not fight Ian Gary as, a potential fight, like, to get in the top 10? I can see this way for Ian Gary. Like, it could be another one of those fights where he can try to take someone's O away again. He had a really good fight against Shavkat. A lot of you guys probably thought Shavkat was going to finish him early. I don't know. I think this would be a good fight. It will be entertaining, and both these guys are super good. I could potentially see both these guys winning, but I would edge it out to Ian Gary though, just for the fact that we've already seen him fight guys in the top 10 already, so we already know he can do it. I think this fight would be entertaining, and for Ian Gary, I think it would be a redemption fight to take someone's O away again. I don't know. I just think it'd be entertaining. Let me know what you guys think about this one. The next fight on the list, I got Davidson Figueiredo versus Kai Asakara at bantamweight. So, Kai Asakara was a 2-time bantamweight in the Rising promotion. So, maybe he had a really hard time cutting down the 125. than what it seemed like. He said it seemed pretty cool with him. I don't know. When it comes to dropping that much weight, especially whenever you're already a lean person, it's really hard on your body. So it's like, why not fight someone like Davidson Figueiredo, who at one point was the flyweight champion and defended it a couple times, and fight him at 135, where you've already fought before, and, you know, just add some more depth to the bantamweight division, like how it's already stacked, like it is. It's just, it makes sense to me. In my eyes, it'd be a lot better for Asakara, especially at his age right now, from where he's young. It's just, I think he would perform better at bantamweight. And I could be wrong, but this fight would be really entertaining. I don't know, with Figueiredo's power, anything can happen in a fight when it comes to him. So, it is what it is. I think this fight would be really good, and I think it would be a smart move for Kai Asakara to maybe find his way to another title shot, but in another weight class. So, let me know what you guys think. And for the last fight on the list, I got Alexandre Pantoja versus Kai Kara-France. Okay. It's another one of those fights where it's like, it makes sense. You know, Kai Kara-France just knocked out Steve Erceg, who previously fought for the title against Pantoja and put on a really good performance. It's one of those fights where, listen, this guy deserves it. He's been on a winning streak, and it wouldn't be fair for him if he didn't get the title shot. There's not much more to say about this matchup. Would it be entertaining? Yes. Is Kai Kara-France, you know, a big power puncher? Yes, we've seen it. It's like him and Figueiredo at one point were the top guys in the flyweight division that really had the hardest punch. So, I feel like this would be a competitive fight for how explosive Kai Kara-France is. I'm sure the fans would enjoy to see it. And like I said, it makes sense. So, let me know what you guys think about these matchups. Would these matchups be competitive? Would they be entertaining? And do they sound realistic? So, like I said, let me know what you guys think. And stay tuned for the next video. Peace.